Hi, everybody. So this is the Eye of the Hurricane edition of Ongoing Mastery Presenting and Speaking. Don't know how well this is going to come across, but we'll give it a shot. I just came back I'm in the process of coming back from learning 2022 in Orlando. And one of the things that happened in that was a really lovely human being, a dear friend of mine, uh, and another person who I have met and think is just tremendous earned a award called the Guild Masters Award. And what this is the Learning Guild um, recognizes people who have been really contributing to the field for a long time. And Debbie Richards, who is, as I said, a dear friend of mine, and I was just tickled to death when she won it. And Donald Taylor, or Donald H. Taylor, let me get it right, both won, and it just absolutely fantastic. And I wanted to come on and celebrate that and say congratulations to both of them. Also, I wanted to point out kind of how this fits within the ongoing mastery universe, because one of the things I had the pleasure of doing was sitting in on one of Donald's classes. And if you're, a fan of the work like I am, if presenting and speaking and, ongoing mastery is your thing, when you're watching other presenters, you're kind of doing the checklist in your head and you're doing analysis and going, okay, how's their voice? What are they doing with their body? What's their face doing? Where are they standing? How are they directing themselves? Where are they working on the floor? How are they using their tools? What's the graphics like? How are they interacting with the audience? Like all of this stuff's kind of popping up in little screens, in your vision, kind of going, bee, 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 bee. And while I was watching, I kind of kept doing this little, okay, tick, okay, tick, okay, tick. And it is a true pleasure to watch somebody whose stagecraft is really well honed. Somebody who understands floor design, who understands posture and air design, who understands the energy that you're putting out and connecting with the audience, all of it, like really, really well done. So afterwards, I walked up to Donald and said, I just want to say your stagecraft is superb and well done. And he looked surprised and he said, you noticed? Because of course if you do it really well, it's invisible unless somebody who knows the craft is watching and is analyzing. So he was pleased, but it's also one of those things where it's normally, if you do it really, really well, it simply looks like it's very easy. And that's one of the things that I want to bring on, because a lot of times when I talk about ongoing mastery, I'm talking about getting into the work and the struggles of that and how hard it is to get over the humps of public speaking fear or presenting fear. But what's a joy is to kind of see when people have reached, different stages, because it's never done. You're never completed. You're never, I've now mastered this, I've got it. No, it's an ongoing process. But to see, where somebody's really clearly put in the work is wonderful. And I will say that I am kind of a little tickled to death that David Kelly of the Learning Guild apparently has a similar sense of humor to mine, which is a little bit of a surprise because he's a very nice, very straight up kind of guy, but he was a little mischievous because he was up on stage and he we did this panel, and it was Debbie and Donald and Megan Torrance, and like it was all these guild masters and these two, and talking about, giving their experience. And afterwards, he came on and said, "Oh, so I had these guild masters and two people who are not guild masters, but," and I'm like, that's an awkward phrasing. He wouldn't have said that if he wasn't going somewhere. And then he starts describing their history, and I'm like, oh, he's going to award them. And sure enough, 2 seconds later, he's like, so come up on stage, and he gives them their awards. And Debbie was absolutely gobsmacked. She was completely, utterly like, what? Me? Which, given that the fact that she wasn't already one is kind of a shock. So it's pretty funny. So I just wanted to come on and say that, and also tell everybody, hi, I'm fine. Yes, I'm in the eye of the hurricane. But the funny thing I'm discovering is that people in Florida and people in Texas have a particular slant on this, which is like, oh, it's a category one, please, which is what in New England we do about snow, where we're like, "Ugh, 6 feet of snow. Come on, you can still see." So you have that kind of balance of here, they're like, "Oh, this is no big deal." And I'm like, "But we're in the eye of a hurricane? Like a hurricane? What?" So it's fine. Um, the weather is, well, you can't even see. It's basically all one giant sheet of gray and rain and, joy. That's it. I'm safe. Everything's good. Please come find me on all the socials. Go to the podcast, Ongoing Mastery Presenting and Speaking, and come find us on LinkedIn. There is an Ongoing Mastery Presenting and Speaking LinkedIn group in which I would really love to see people, kind of give me their thoughts about what they want to see, who they'd like to see interviewed, what books they would like to see reviewed, things like that. And that's it. I just wanted to come on because I'm stuck in a hotel and I have nothing but work to do. So this is me avoiding work. Bye, everybody.